The Royal Knight is definitely one of the best cavalry units in the entire game, and today's build will focus entirely on them. Just as a disclaimer, this is not going to be a good build in every single scenario, but if you are looking to improve your micro and your raiding skills, this is definitely the build for you. Plus, it is also an amazing build to learn for team games, so let's get into it. The fact that the French economy is so easy to manage gives you space to focus entirely on making the most of your Royal Knights, which are easily one of, if not the best unit in the feudal age. Even against spearmen who are supposed to counter them, they can still kill them if microed correctly. With this build, it will be almost impossible to not deal economic damage to your opponent. By the way, if you want to learn more about how to micro knights effectively, I made a video recently where I go over tips like cancelling the spearman brace or how to raid effectively, so go check that one out if you're interested. Once we reach the castle age with a big mass of knights, that can heal passively by the way, we will research royal bloodlines from the Royal Institute and the veteran knight upgrade, leaving us with a ton of fully upgraded knights with an incredibly huge amount of HP and one of the highest melee damages as well, ready to end our opponent's life. Now let's get into the build. Start by sending all villagers to the sheep and scouting one half of the map. Your first villager should go to the sheep, and your next 3 villagers should build a house and a mining camp at the gold. Then set your rally point back to the sheep for a while. Make sure your scout is back by around the 2-minute mark by the way, otherwise you might run out of sheep. At around the 2:20 mark, start building the School of Cavalry with 4 food villagers, and also send 2 more villagers to the gold for a total of 5. Find a moment to build a house with a gold villager, and keep rallying food until you have 12 food villagers. Start building a mill at the berries just before aging up, and as soon as the landmark is completed, immediately queue a knight and send it towards your enemy's base. Once you have queued your second knight, start researching Wheelbarrow, the first mining upgrade, and never stop producing knights from now on. And as soon as you reach 12 on food, set your rally point to the woodline and leave it there for the rest of the game. From here on, we will take the villagers from the woodline and transfer them to the other resources whenever we need. In the meantime, your knights should be attacking the gold mine, the woodland, or the berries. Try to separate your knights in different groups and pressure from multiple spots at the same time. Once you have reached 100 wood, take a group of 5 villagers from the woodline and build a tower and a mill in a nearby deer pack. If the boar is close, you could opt for it instead. When you get another 100 wood, take another 5 villagers and send them to build a tower on the gold and start mining from it. I sent 3 in this example, but I think 5 is better. And the next 150 wood will be used to make an additional stable. For the rest of the feudal age, keep producing knights and use your additional gold to get the rest of your economic upgrades or chivalry in case your knights get injured. If at any point you feel you have a pretty good lead and space to age up, stop producing knights and immediately transfer your woodland villagers between gold and food. I like to age up with 15 on gold and the rest on the food, but this will likely depend on the game and the map you are playing. If you are getting more gold than food at this point, take the opportunity to research any eco upgrades you did not get and plus 1 ranged armor from your blacksmith. As soon as you have the resources, grab all the villagers that you had on your berries and start building the Royal Institute. By the way, it is extremely important that you do not lose knights during the feudal age. If they are low on HP, just send them back to heal passively with chivalry. But it is imperative that you keep them alive, because otherwise, going for the Royal Institute will be absolutely worthless. You will have to mine somewhere around 600 to 700 gold at this time, because once we age up, we are going to instantly research royal bloodlines and upgrade our knights to veteran. Now, resume knight production and start moving your knights towards your opponent's base. You can go for a monastery if you want, to start getting relics and sacred sites, but at this point you will have a pretty good window to kill your opponent, with your fully upgraded knights. If you feel you cannot finish your opponent though, send a group of villagers to stone and start working towards a farm transition, building a keep, and set up archery ranges if you feel your knights are not cutting it. By the way, take note of the way I built my stables. Always make sure you build them in this layout, so later in the game when you place your keep, the stables will already be within its influence, making your production 25% cheaper. Now, the counter to this is pretty straightforward. Just build spears and be active with your scout. The strength of this build is the potential for knights to raid all around the map. But if you position your spears in the spots where you are most likely to get raided, then you should be completely fine. Make sure you scout whether your opponent is going for stables and nothing else, because some players will bait you into building a ton of spears and then switching into archers, so just watch out for that. Once you reach castle, support the spears with the crossbows and also add your own cavalry to start raiding the French player. Since this is not a Pro Scouts build, they will be vulnerable at exposed outer food sources like the deer, boar and berries. So start raiding those places as soon as you can. Also, try to scout which landmark they went for, because if they went for the Royal Institute, that means they won't have the guild hall to easily transition into Imperial Age. So all you have to do is take as little damage as possible and survive until your economy is much better than your opponent's. Okay, so here's the first game. I am playing French, as we do, and we are going against Ottomans. And the very first thing that I would like to point out is that the very first sheep that I gathered here, that were pretty close to my base, I sent immediately to my TC. And the reason for this is because French produces villagers faster, and that means that they require more food at the beginning. So having these two sheep here means that I will be able to go over a longer path with my scout looking for sheep. Here I left a little bit more because I saw that my opponent was doing kind of a weird scouting pattern, so I wanted to cut him off. As you see here, he's trying to go for this area here, and I was trying to cut him off, but here it seems like he got there faster than me, and I am actually running behind his scout, but I noticed in time, and now I will go towards the other side to get all of this parts before he does. So here we're just trying to go for a scout ward here in order to get the most sheep. So here now I no longer can go into the top side, so I decide to just grab all the sheep that are behind me. And here he notices that he kind of fucked up by going behind my scout, and yeah, I just was able to get most of the sheep on this side. Now I want to go over to this side to grab the rest of the sheep. He cannot go that way faster than me because my TC is in the way, so now this way I can do this. And by the way, against Ottomans, right now I'm already aging up, but against Ottomans it's very important that you see whether they have a military school or not. In this case he does have a military school, but he decided not to send his spearmen over to my villagers. But yeah, so that is very good for me. So we are continuing to go into the build. Here I know his gold is somewhere here, so because I saw the other side of his base, and I saw that there was no gold here, so naturally his gold must be on the other side. So that's what I did. He knows that I was coming with a knight, so he decides to just place his spear here defensively, and now I'm just looking to see where I can do any damage. He right now is not mining gold, so I am not worried about him going into castle, and he's immediately going into barracks and blacksmith. So he wants to stay here and defend with spearmen. Right now, take a look at this. I have knights on one side and knights on another, so now he has to split his units, and I can take that advantage to cause damage on both sides. Here, as you can see, I can pick off one knight or two, and here what I'm doing, let's actually slow it down. I am drawing attention to one side and attacking on the other, so you have to be always attentive to where your opponent's units are. And right now he is, I guess, going for a second TC or something, because he I am not sure what his decision making was here, but I guess he just wanted to go for a second TC because he was not able to get any gold. So that is really good news for me, and I saw that, so I am going into a second stable. I am just gathering the resources, and I will soon start going into this tier and this tier here. So pretty good for me. I have already killed, I think, 4 villagers, as you can see here in the top side. Here I go for another one, and now this knight that is really low on health. By the way, I see that his units are on that side, so I come in from the other side, and I keep doing that the whole game. And now I come back with my knights through the other side. And this guy, I send him here to heal, because we have this thing here, this chivalry, which allows us to heal our knights that are low on HP. And here I confirmed that he was indeed going for a second town center. And this one is in a really, really good position because it protects this woodline, this deer, and this gold. So it is really, really nice. And I cannot deny it because he has way too many spears. And I only have knights for now. So at this point, actually I have not killed 4 villagers, like I said before. I have only killed 2, but I am way ahead because I am French. That is the reasoning why I have so many more villagers. Now I go into this deer. I like to always build the tower first. Sometimes I forget it, but I recommend you that you always build the tower first, because you don't know if your opponent is going to raid you there. So yeah, now here I think I got, maybe I was not looking, I didn't get any kills and I lost 1 knight, which is really, really bad for me. So here I just stand back for a bit because I am trying to get into the castle age. I built a double tower here just to be safe because I saw that he had a few sipahis, and then I just go in with the knights that I have while I age up the castle. So here I attack on one side, I go in the other. Always do this. You have to have two groups of knights, or at least 2. You could have 3. And killing the 2 prelates, by the way, the 2 imams, is extremely good because that is one of his vizier points. And I just denied that completely with 2 knights because he was distracted on this side trying to protect his second TC. So that is amazing damage for me. I have the knights that were really low on HP. I have them here protecting my my deer. I should have a tower here, I don't, and that I think is a mistake from me. But now look at the ones that were pretty much dead. Now they are full HP thanks to chivalry, and I keep producing knights. And now that I am aging up, I have 14 a ton of villagers on gold because I am going to need gold for this upgrade, the royal bloodlines that cost 500 gold. And the elite. So I get the 2 upgrades immediately as soon as I age up, and I continue to raid with my knights in the meantime. Never stop raiding on many different sides. Look at how he's 2 TC, but he's still below me in villagers, and I go in through the other side with my other knights, and he just taps out because he cannot handle the raids. And I was also castle age, so that would have been GG anyways. Now, for the second game, we are going against a Japanese player, and at this time, this game is actually pretty interesting to see because here I am at a pretty big disadvantage. So, first thing, in this map we have small gold veins instead of big ones or medium ones that only hold 1600 gold instead of the regular 4000, which is, for example, this one here. So that means that we will not have as much gold to build the knights that we are going to want and all the things that we want. So here I went immediately, as you can see, into his base. Why did I do that? Because he's playing Japanese, and Japanese is known for barracks rushing. I would do this also against, for example, Lancaster, and let's say just any civilization that you think can Dark Age rush you. So I confirmed immediately that he went for a barracks. Because of my scouting pattern. I am also getting a ton of sheep, as you can see. So I immediately go into an outpost here to defend myself, and a bunch of guys on gold. So really good. That is already a really good start. But the problem is this outpost does not completely protects me, because guys that go for Dark Age rushing can also go for a tower rush, and that is what he's doing. So he, for example, this will protect me against the Spearman, but it will not protect me against a tower here that can shoot my villagers. But this is will still give me enough time to get gold for 1 knight. So that is what I will want to do. And this also delays him a lot on his resources. So he has to invest on a barracks, on 3 spearmen, and an outpost. And after he completes his outpost, I can just go to a different gold and be done with it. So as you can see here, I am banking up as much gold as I can. I already have the 200, but I am still mining more because I want to make knights as soon as I age up. So that will be pretty good for me. And now he is going into feudal age as well, as you can see, but he is pretty delayed. I will still get to feudal faster than him. because of all the investment he did. And I was able to get almost 300 gold, I think 200, which is enough for 2 knights. And that is pretty good for me, I could say. And now that his spears are stuck here, I can just go to another gold and that's it, once my 2 knights are out. So for now, I am mining wood while I wait until my School of Cavalry is out. And yeah, so this is a pretty good strategy to do against French, by the way, but it is not unbeatable. There's things you can do to mitigate the Dark Age Rush, and this is one way to do it. So something else that you could do, now that I think of it, is just build the tower just on like leave the blueprint just before it finishes. And if you see that he is coming up with a villager to tower rush you, then you can just cancel your tower. Here, 3 spearmen are not enough to deal with a knight and 5 villagers, but you have to be very careful not to lose the knight. I almost lose it. That would have been catastrophic for me. So I just sent it here to raid instead. I can still defend myself with villagers, but I have to be very careful because that can happen. So here I could also make another tower, which is what I'm doing right now. And because my opponent is distracted, I am able to, actually I was distracted and I lost a knight. Don't do this, by the way, this is really bad. But I was still able to get at least one villager for my troubles. And he is just making spears. He's stuck making spears, and he's also going into stable. So he's going to go for a horseman spearman composition, which is really, really good. And now that I have my gold protected, I am able to just start spamming knights as I did before in the build. So we are now back to what we want to do, which is just spam knights with the gold we have. And he's trying to get a tower up in this gold, but I was able to get the villager. And this is really important. Again, guys, make 2 different groups for your knights, at least 2. If you can go for 3 different groups, then go for it. But it is extremely important because most players always focus on just one group of knights. But if you control them in different sites, then they will have a really bad time at dealing with that. So here, he's chasing my main group of knights, and then I have another group of knights here to cause some damage. And I almost took him by surprise there. Now because he was distracted here with his raid, with this raid here, he lost every single unit that he had in the front. That is what you have to do with this build, guys. Always distract your opponent on one side and attack on the other. As you can see, he's struggling really hard because of the micro on every side. And now he doesn't know where my knights are, by the way. He's trying to raid. So what I do is I protect my villagers here. If you see, my 2 stables are pointing here. And my main group of knights is attacking his food, which is here. And now look at the villager difference, guys. I am 10 villagers ahead and counting. So this is already a disaster. I think by this point, at this level, this is already GG, being 13 villagers behind your opponent. And he is also raiding here. I was a little bit distracted too, but my knights were not in the right spot. That was a mistake for me. If my knights were in the right spot, then I probably wouldn't have lost a single villager. But yeah, he's still losing a ton of shit on his side of the map. I lost, I think, just a scout and probably 1 knight here. And because he's still distracted, I'm still able to get kills. And after that, he just decides to call it because he's just way too behind at this point. Now for the last game, I want to show you a game against Macedonian Dynasty. And this one is also a little bit different because in this game, I don't end the game right away with the all-in. So here, my opponent's defends a little bit better, and he also has a landmark that allows him to survive for more. So as you know, the Macedonian Dynasty Castle Age landmark, the Golden Horn Tower, is very different from the Byzantine one. It actually works as a keep that shoots crossbows and also spawns crossbows, so that is incredibly good against a build like this where you are only building knights. So this one is a pretty good game to show, to let you know how I adapt to it. So here my opponent is going straight for the deer, which is pretty interesting. I think this is, it could be good, but it will delay his Dark Age, his Feudal Age by quite a bit, instead of going for all his sheep. But it will allow him to get a ton of food pretty early and save his sheep. So pretty nice for him, but he is going to be really delayed. And because this build gets a knight extremely fast, he might be really exposed here. But he is, I think he lost his scout, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, he lost his scout, but he didn't lose any sheep. He actually already got all his sheep here. And he's also going for his Grand Winery. But before losing his scout, he already knows that I am going for knights. So he decides to go back straight away. But he saved a ton of food. And he also has the Grand Winery. So this was actually pretty smart from him, because now all of these sheep are going to be boosted by the Grand Winery. So that is really interesting way to play this. And he tried to go for a tower, but I saw it immediately and started hitting it, and he didn't build it in time. And against Macedonian Dynasty specifically, guys, this is really important. You have to deny gold, because if they cannot get gold, they cannot get silver. And if they cannot get silver, they cannot get any bonuses for their blacksmith. So it's basically like they're playing a thief without bonuses if they cannot get gold. So this is extremely important to do. I think he underestimated the timing of my knights, because this build doesn't go for wheelbarrow straight away in the Dark Age. You can get a knight extremely fast, and so I think he underestimated that and didn't build the tower faster. So pretty good for me. I am already denying the gold, which is really bad for him, and he needs to go for a Varangian stronghold. I think he's trying to build it here because he wants it to defend his thing with the upgrade that shoots arrows from the strongholds. Here I was able to get 2 charges in. I lost a lot of HP. I am not sure if that was worth it, but I also denied the stronghold by quite a bit. So he's going into the arsenal now, and he's trying so hard to get into this gold, but I am not letting him. And once again, guys, you need to have at least 2 groups of knights. I have one here and one here looking at his berries. Right now I don't see if he has villagers there, but once I go in, I also go in on the other side, but he does not have any villagers here yet. I guess it's because he's worried about the knights, but I could be attacking this. I am not sure why I'm not doing it. I guess because I don't have a scout, I don't have vision. Right now I am doing that right now because he's distracted here, so I am able to get a kill here on the other side. Always do this, guys. It is extremely important to have 2 groups of knights. I know it's hard. It's even hard for me. Here, as you saw, I lost 1 knight, which is really bad, but I was able to at least get the spear. But this was 100% not worth it. And now that my knight is really low, I send him back to my gold and to heal himself back with chivalry. So really nice. And I am building an outpost here. I always like to build outposts in my exposed resources, even if I am not getting attacked, because you will see later that this thing here will save my ass, and I always think it is very important to do it. On the other side, because he is so distracted at defending, I am able to get all the resources. I could even go for the boar, but I decided not to go for it because it was so far away. Look at how far it almost spawned on the corner of the map, so I decided to just go for the deer. Another micro mistake. I am playing really badly in this game, I think, because I lost so many knights unnecessarily. I could have been probably 3 knights up at this point, but I am only at 7. So really bad. And he decides to go for my gold. And this is why I told you before that this tower was going to be really important. So he attacks there, I attack at his back, and now with 5 villagers on the gold, I am able to just kill these guys here. And by the way, if he tries to attack me, I can just go back, and then his spearmen are going to be attacked by the tower. So really nice. And now my villagers can go back to mining, and I am already aging up with the Royal Institute. I am still making micro mistakes here. I shouldn't be losing that much HP with my knights. It is really, really bad. I don't have chivalry yet. I think not. So this is a game where I made so many mistakes, by the way, because I should have chivalry. I shouldn't have lost that many knights. Imagine if I had. I think I lost, let's see, well, it doesn't say here, but I think I lost around 4 to 5 knights at this point. And the rest are really, really badly banked up. So at this point, at least, I am going for my my upgrades. I am going for the secondary deer pack. And I saw that he was running out of food, so he is going into this deer. So I know that this is another point where I can raid. And he knows that as well, so he's splitting his spearmen to defend and to follow my knights. And now I am going into his berries too. I think I managed to get one more kill. And at the same time, I am going in with my secondary group of knights. And now my knights are extremely tanky. So they are not going to be to get harassed that much by this town center. And this raid here, I did not see, by the way. He sneaked a bunch of spearmen. And I was so focused on... I was so focused on killing his villagers over here and denying his age up that I did not see this amount of spearmen here. And he gets like 10 villagers. I don't know how many villagers he got. I still not noticed, but at the other side of the map, I also got 1,000 villagers. So we are both trading villagers left and right. I think here I finally noticed, and somewhere, yeah, now I noticed, but I lost so many villagers. He lost so many villagers too, so now we are both really behind on villager count, on economy count, but I have, I think, better units and more units right now. So I am still ahead by almost double because I am French. So that is a really, really nice advantage. And I'm still causing damage, always going for his gold because Macedonian Dynasty is so gold hungry. And now I'm going for this boar. Now I'm going for double tower first because I know he is raiding around with his knights, with his spearmen. And now my reinforcement can deal with his raids. And right now he is surviving because he has the Golden Horn Tower, which is protecting his food right here and his woodland as well. But I am still able to hit the gold, so that is what I'm going for. And I'm also hitting these outer things because I don't want him to get any resources. He needs to stay stuck in his base because otherwise he will get overrun by night. And at the same time, I am getting all my upgrades, I am getting relics, and I will soon start building a siege engineering camp, just so I can deal with this Golden Horn Tower. So the raids continue. As you can see, the Golden Horn Tower deals a ton of damage to my knights, but because they are so tanky, even if they are crossbows, they have 310 HP. They are still pretty good at diving, and I can just heal them back like this whenever they are out of combat. And he is still pretty hungry for gold, and I am not letting him get any gold whatsoever. So now, while I'm waiting for my stuff my economy to bump up and my knights to keep going up in number, I am just raiding around his Golden Horn Tower. So at this point, I think this is already GG. If you see, I am scaling in villagers. He is not, because I am raiding every single time. As you can see, he's got nothing on the woodline, nothing on the gold. His only protected villagers are the ones here under the Golden Horn Tower, and I just continuously raid. I have knights everywhere at this point. Knights here, knight around the back. I don't have to do anything else. It doesn't matter if he has spears and crossbows, because he already received so much damage on the early game, so he's not able to build the mass needed to deal with my fully upgraded knights. And now that I have this siege workshop, I am able to get the rams, and I'm able to end the game. At this point, I think he should have already tapped out. I'm not sure why he hasn't done so. I have also all the relics and all the sacred sites, and now that he sees the rams, and that I am able to just go into his base and kill everything, I think this is where he finally taps out. So yeah, pretty good build, but not against every single thing.